Hey, good evening. Just getting it all set up here. We are live. Okay, excellent. All right, so why am I live? I mean, we had a flood warning issued, but I wanted to show you. I'm really interested in this storm here. It's close to the radar, so we're getting a good look inside of it. And right now, we don't have any warnings active. We have special weather statements, but this storm has piqued my interest. So what I'm going to do is pause it. And you might have gotten an alert saying dangerous storm approaching from the Cenla Weather app. And this is what we're picking up on here. We not only have this area of rotation, but this thing right here, that's really close to the radar near Fullerton, moving up toward Cora and Afman. And so I'm thinking this may end up getting warned. And now that I see that, I don't know if that's not a CC drop there. That is very possibly a drop in this correlation coefficient because you can see on the velocity that is only 400 feet from the radar here northeast of Fullerton that we have a really solid signature there. I'm not going to go and warn this or anything, but I want you to treat this storm very seriously as it is close to the radar, and I definitely don't like to see that. So I'm going to put it in motion here over the last, actually I'm going to shrink this down to the last half hour, and yeah, so we put this in motion, and look at this around Fullerton, what happens here. We had that one storm roll through that was pretty interesting earlier, but this one's even more organized, and this looks pretty dangerous to me. So while there is a flood warning going on right now, there are no warnings with this, but I am going to go ahead and say that if you're up there in LeCamp, Price Crossing, Heinston, Afman, I want you to seek shelter just in case this thing actually is trying to produce a tornado. And the storm relative velocity, you can see, so that's if we're riding along in the storm, what's going on with it. We also have some really strong winds. I'm thinking up here near Seeper with this one, so 50 plus mile per hour winds are possible. But right now, and I'm going to go to the base velocity again, and what I'm going to do is show you just if I go in and pixel query this, and there's a multiple scan, or we have multiple scans, and this is right near the radar, so we have 49 miles per hour coming toward, 43 going away. So there is definitely a low-level circulation with this. I wouldn't be able to see anything on a camera, so we're not going to just look at lightning here. But let's go and look at the correlation coefficient. And yeah, guys, I think that, let's see, I think that's on the ground. Let me go back here. We have multiple scans with that. It's lined up directly with that. Yeah, that's... All right, we are live with it. If there's a warning or not, I don't know if they're going to go with a warning on this, but I am I am just saying that if you are in this immediate area, Lookout Road, if you're along Highway 463, looking ahead, and let's go back one scan here. So this thing's moving generally through Fullerton, then it looks like that's moving toward the northeast. TDS warning coming out. So this is a tornado. This is on the ground. Tornado warning is forthcoming here. This is going up toward Cora and Afman, right along 463. That is a confirmed tornado here. You're about to get a warning on this, and that's going to be coming out. We have this area up here as well, but this one right here, why this really caught my eye is this thing is, I mean, let me see. There's your radar site. This is 10 miles, 9 miles away. So when you see that clear of a rotational signature on radar and it's that close, and that thing's beefing up now. So there is a tornado on the ground right now between Fullerton and Afman, and debris is being lofted by this. That is a very clear TDS signature on the radar right now. This is out near 463. The warning is coming out. So you may say, I don't have a warning. If you know anyone in Cora, Afman, Leander, Heinston, I think LeCamp, you're probably going to end up west of this, but I want you to seek shelter now. If you're in, and this is going to be a very rough drawing, but like if you're anywhere in this location here, that's a rough estimate of where this warning's going to be. So those communities, Lewiston, Heinston, Afman, Elmahine, Calcasieu, Price Crossing, There's your tornado warning confirmed. So see, my box was not exact, but you get the idea. So that is flashing purple. That is a confirmed tornado. I'll take my fake warning off. This does not include Alexandria, but it's close. And you can see as we put this into motion, there is that tornado that is confirmed on the ground by radar. And this is going to head right up toward Cora, Afman, Calcasieu, Hindston, that area. That's where we're looking at. And we have a very clear look at this thing. So what I'm going to do is a couple of things. We have the tornado warning. Those alerts are going out now. I did not trust this storm, so I wanted to get out ahead of this one a little bit. I had one earlier that looked questionable as well, but this one right here is a tornado on the ground. I'll get you the warning text in just a second. I'm pointing my camera toward it just in case this does come a little bit further northeast. Of course, we want this thing to dissipate very, very quickly because we have an actual confirmed tornado with this one. And here is the text on this one. I'm going to read it off here. This is a tornado warning for southwestern Rapides and southeastern Vernon Parish in west central Louisiana until 9 p.m. A tornado-producing storm was located near Fullerton, near Pitkin, moving northeast at 40. This is a radar-confirmed tornado. Why am I showing you this instead of regular radar? Because what we're seeing here is the tornado that is showing up on the correlation coefficient. This is when I go, hey, I'm going to look at the correlation coefficient. I'm going to look at the debris tracker. This is what we're looking for, and we have a very clear signature that we have a tornado about to cross Highway 463. So if you are in this area, if you are near, and I'm trying to get these street names to pop up, if you're near 463, if you're near Lookout Road, that is where this is going to be. It's north of Boundary Road. This is along Highway 463, about to cross Highway 463. I'm seeing if I can get some of these. I have to zoom in on these to get the names to pop up, and for some reason, so Jeff McDonald Road, that area, where Highway 463 and Jeff McDonald Road, Pilgrim Road, Paget Road, that area, that's where this is headed. This is a tornado on the ground. This is not, maybe this is here. This is a most definite situation here where we have a tornado on the ground. There's your rotation. It's showing up everywhere. Shear swath shows that, hold on, that's looking weird. Wow, that's odd. But yeah, that's the shear rate right now. And so every product is showing it. So let's look right here. This is a dangerous storm with a confirmed tornado moving toward Afman and Hindston. These have not been holding on to the rotation incredibly long. This one, however, it looks like it has the juice here. This thing is in the warm sector. This is a storm that is producing a tornado right now. I'm just looking at lightning. I've got the camera up here. Let me pop my comments up, though, just so I can see that as well. This is near Afman, just southwest of Afman by several miles. Continuing the tornado warning. That is 6.6 miles away. This thing's moving northeast at 40. So that would put it over Afman in about 8 to 10 minutes. We have a new tornado warning, and yeah, this one's going to include, I'm thinking they expanded this eastward. Okay, so that is a new tornado warning that is not a confirmed warning. They added this one. I'll show you that in just a second. Let me clear this out. Go with this. Okay, so actually, we have 2 confirmed tornadoes now. All right, so this one is right near Gardner. This is a new tornado warning, 2 confirmed tornadoes, one in Rapides, one in eastern Vernon Parish. These are both confirmed tornadoes on the ground. You can see it on debris tracker here. And that one just popped there near Gardner. That was just west of Lewiston, popped just west of Gardner. We have this one southwest of Afman. If you are in Gardner, between Gardner and Hemphill up toward McNutt, Wilda, Crane, that area, there is a tornado on the ground right now. And I'm waiting to get the actual text on this one. I think I have it now. Tornado warning for Central Rapides Parish. That goes until 9:15. At 8:37, a tornado-producing storm was located over Otis, or 7 miles north of Hindston. This is moving northeast at 30. This is a radar-confirmed damaging tornado. This will be near Boyce, Gardner, Alexandria around 8:45, Alexandria International Airport around 8:50, and Pineville Looks like 9:05. So there are, and let me look at the velocity. There's tornado number one. I'm going to go back. This is just such an easier way to show you where this is. So we have 2 confirmed tornadoes close into the area. Now, I will say that right now, if you are in Alexandria, if you're in Pineville, if you're in this area right here where the most dense population is, this is not an imminent threat. You're in the tornado warning, so you want to be ready to seek shelter, but this thing's still 15, 18 miles out to the west. So I'm going to circle where these areas are because I know it can get a little bit noisy. All right, so there's your first, or whatever, tornado 1, tornado 2. These are both tornadoes. One just west of Gardner, that's crossing Highway 28. The other one down here near Afman, that has crossed Highway 463. So if you're in these areas, you have a tornado warning in effect, and these are both flashing purple, so both confirmed tornadoes. You can see them right there. Don't pay attention to this kind of blue stuff out here. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for these drops in the correlation coefficient that is tied to rotation in a thunderstorm. When we see those two come together, that's when we know we have an issue here. So let me see if they're saying anything else. Another potential T. Okay, that was just that too. They did not say that. All right, let me take that off, and I'm going to go through a short little loop here. Let's go the last half hour, and there's your tornado warning number 1. There's that storm. That tornado is still on the ground. Tornado number 2, it looks like this is up near Gardner, just west of Gardner. This is crossing Highway 28. That one is looking maybe a little less impressive. What I'm going to actually do, I'm going to take a look from Lake Charles and see if I'm seeing this. I'm not seeing it clearly. So the only small, teeny tiny bit of good news that is that means that this debris is not being lofted incredibly high. This still could be a strong tornado. It's a very clear signature we're seeing on radar. Yeah, I'm not seeing it on Shreveport, so that's just the smallest bit of hope, but that is really expanding and looking nasty down here. Let me take you real quick. Remember, there are 2 confirmed tornadoes right now. I'm going to go down here. We're going to take a look at this one near Afman. This is just south of Highway 463. It has crossed it. It's moving toward right over Jeff McDonald Road, Pilgrim Road, Morrison Road. Highway 112 down the line. This is on the way toward you as well. This is a confirmed tornado. They do not get more definite than this. If you're in this area, if you've heard me continue to harp on your location, if you hear me mentioning your street, you need to seek shelter. This one, you don't want to be in if at all possible, if you're in a trailer, this is why I say I want you to have somewhere you can go and get as many walls between you and the outside as you can, get a very significant, substantial shelter, and get out there and just, do what you can to keep yourself safe. This is this is another confirmed tornado between Wilda and Gardner. Don't pay much mind to the fact that it's not quite as blue there. You can see that is a clear signature on radar. This one's heading up right toward Hot Wells. This is over St. Clair Road. This is Browns Creek Road, Teakle Road, up toward the Wilda community, Hoyt Road, Campground Cemetery Road. You can see these roads here. Balboa Point, that's right on Coteal Lake. I know exactly. This is actually right near Coteal. Just trying to see forgive me if there are things that I'm not responding to or whatever. I'm locked in on these two. So there's tornado number 1 up near Wilda, number 2 down here south of Afman. In the last scan, this one looks a little different, but still very clearly a signature that is showing up on radar. You can see that surge of wind coming out from this storm, so there is a little bit of a straight line wind threat, especially on the southern end of it. And if you look at this doesn't look that impressive on velocity. But it is showing. The debris tracker really does not lie here. If I'm looking at this right now, I'm not thinking this is too crazy. But we have 2 tornadic signatures. Hold on. Confirmed touchdown in the LeCamp area is what I'm seeing. Okay, so let's go ahead and just show you where this is right now. And this tornado warning, again, continues for Alexandria, but in Alexandria, there's no need to panic right now. this is not close. It's maybe thundering and raining and all that kind of stuff. But these storms, it's this one right near Afman, this one up here near Wilda, right up near Coteal Lake. That is where this one is right now. Just looking to see. And on that velocity signature, things are looking a little bit better up there on that storm. But again, we're not going on the traditional metrics with this one because there is most clearly a tornado on the ground with this cell south of Afman, moving toward Calcasieu and Heinston. Again, this is going to be crossing. It has crossed 463. This is heading toward 112. Paget Road, Pilgrim Road, Grayson, Marlar Road, Highway 461, Boyd Road, Harper Road. All these areas, you are under the gun from this. Again, don't pay attention to all these other little drops in the color here. This is the one we're watching. Then we have another one that is up here. This is moving right up toward Hot Wells through Wilda. This has crossed over Highway 28. And right now, I would say that this is over Mudge Road, St. Clair Road, Balboa Point. Again, that's that area right on Coteal. I think Highway 1200 is out, or 121, Hot Wells Road. That actually comes out toward Bayou Rapides, and there's 28 down there. So that's where Gardner is. That's your caution light right there. This crossed over a little west of there in Gardner. Let me take a look here. See where that crossed. Yeah, that crossed over, and it's now going up through, I forgot the name. I know it's like Magellan, Balboa Point. It's a bunch of explorer names. It's that neighborhood right up there on Coteal Lake. So, okay, that's good. They have taken Alexandria out of the warning. So I know that's a small consolation for those of you being impacted in this, but I want to at least ease the anxiety temporarily. If you're in Alexandria, Pineville, if you're in Inglewood, that area, Labousse out to the east, you're out of that warning now. 121, getting all kinds of report. Okay, let's see. All right, I am looking at just all the latest updates here. Let me see this. All right, we're not getting a ton of details here. Then that's how this goes. When this happens, you're not gonna. The first thing you're not gonna go and call someone. If a tornado hits, typically you're not gonna call the authorities and let them know. I mean, maybe you are, but there's a million things going on here. So we have the let's see. It looks like we have a confirmed tornado warning, and then we have another where it's not confirmed, kind of in there. I don't know why they did that, but let's just count these both as confirmed right now. Though that signature near Afman is looking better. So you can see that. When it was blue and solid like that, that was pretty crazy. It looks like they're probably taking away the confirmed tag on that, but there is still a flashing purple one there, so we're going to keep that going. Still something showing up. Still debris could be falling out of that one, and then we have this other tornado up near Coteal Lake. This is moving toward Boyce, toward I-49, and you can see Boyce and Hot Wells. This would be moving up toward probably around exit, like it's going to be like mile marker 99 to 102, that kind of area, Highway 149, right there in Boyce, in town. That's where this one is. And then we have our other one. Again, do not pay attention to that because there is no velocity signature there. What I'm seeing, okay, so there's still a tornado likely on the ground in that neighborhood with Balboa Point, that area. In fact, I'm going to have to check on a friend of mine out that way in a little bit here. And then you can see the surge on this line. So we've got the circulation up here near Afman, but look at that big surge. There's going to be strong straight line winds from the north side of Union Hill through Calcasieu and then Heinston, and this could spin up once again. Okay, let's see. Let's go in on this. This is where the tornado near Coteal is right now. That's Highway 121, Hot Wells Road, Van Zant Road, Parkview, Park Lane, Coteal Lake Road, now up toward Bathhouse Road, and let's see what else. Ryan Avenue, Johnson Avenue. You are right there in between Crane and Hot Wells, that area, that's where this one looks pretty significant still. Down toward Afman, still seeing a lowering in that correlation coefficient, that debris tracker that we always talk about. And that one right now is crossing Highway 112. Looks like it's going to be kind of running up toward 112 and 463, 461, up toward Heinzton, Highway 121. All these areas, if you are familiar with that, if that sounds familiar to you, you have a tornado possibly on the ground still. There were 2 tornadoes on the ground with this, and we're still watching closely to see what we have with these storms. And I'm just looking to see if there's more. Let's see, here was the lowering. I'm just looking to, yeah. Those were 2 definite tornadoes on the ground, and my hope is that they're not anymore, but we're still seeing some sort of signature there on the debris tracker, and we're also seeing that we're seeing pretty, I mean, right there, that's just a huge gust of wind that's coming out, that rear flank downdraft that's coming down the backside of this. And that's going to be straight line wind issues for Calcasieu, northern parts of Union Hill toward Heinzton. And then up here, again, it doesn't look crazy on what we're seeing on the velocity, but we're still seeing that TDS here between Hot Wells and Crane. So we're still seeing a lowering on that. If I just saw that now, I wouldn't be as concerned, but it's continuing from something earlier that was very, evident on radar. So 2 confirmed tornado warnings right now. Let me pull up the text on these. I just want to see if there have been any sort of updates. But don't worry, we got you covered here. 8:47 p.m. At 8:46, a confirmed tornado was located near Heinzton, moving northeast at 40. This is a radar-confirmed tornado. This will be near Heinzton and Elmer right now. Other locations possibly impacted by this tornado would be Woodworth, Calcasieu, and Forest Hill. And then there was that confirmed tornado over Gardner. This is 7 minutes ago at 8:44. Flying debris, dangerous. Okay, let's see. Confirmed tornado over Gardner, 8 miles south of Boyce, moving northeast at 30. This will be near Boyce. And perhaps, let's just say Boyce, because it says Alexandria, and it's not going to be near Alexandria. So this looks weaker. That looks like that's kind of dropping out on us, so that's some good news there. In fact, both signatures looking a little weaker right now. See. All right, so it's looking a little bit better. Let's go back to reflectivity, but man, that's an angry storm right there. Lightning is not as, I mean, it's gotten quiet. It's odd. And I know, you think about that right before a tornado or something, it gets really quiet. I can't believe it's quiet like it is right here at my house right now with this monster supercell approaching. I'm trying to think of how to... No, let's see this. So basically what's going to happen now, if you're in Alexandria, you're going to come through some really heavy rain, maybe even some hail out of this. You can see very clearly on this that there is inflow coming into this thing still. Whoops. Okay, so inflow coming in here. There's where your circulation or your tornado would be. And that's going to continue on to the northeast. So that's the direction it's moving. I think we are going to possibly see this thing cycle again. You can see right there, that is an impressive signature on radar. And I mean, I don't know how evident a circulation can get. Let's put this in motion. I mean, look at that. So what we had, let's go back and look just briefly here. I know we don't want to get too in the weeds on this. Okay. Looks like they're going to be expanding the tornado watch to include avoils at the very least. So that's watch, not warning. So that's when you have a tornado, when it's right there, gate to gate, very close to each other. But look at what's happened to this thing. As it's continued on, you get that surge of wind coming out the eastern flank of this, and then now you have that surge, you have this circulation, this broad circulation coming in here, and I'm going to be watching right in this area, right here near Heinzton, between Heinzton, Elmer, and Calcasieu. If you're in those communities, there is the potential for a tornado to drop out of this once again. And right now, at least, I'm not seeing much on the last several frames here. Moving up toward Boyce, there still is a little bit of a lowering. So if you're in Boyce, treat this tornado seriously. It could still be on the ground. And then the one southeast of Afman, I still see some debris that's being lofted. I don't know if that's just debris that's lighter, leaves and things like that, because when you get to this time of year and you have all these leaves that are kind of flying around, they can get picked up by a weak tornado and they can make that signature look really, really strong. So it's entirely possible the tornado's not that strong, but it is going to be something that's going to show up well because it's picking up a lot of that light debris. We saw that last year with the tornado near Woodworth that went right across Timberlake and didn't really do any damage at all. So let's take a look at reflectivity again. That's your main storm here. This one up to the north is in a less favorable environment right now because it is going to be, we're going to be robbing some of that inflow from this storm down here. But still, there is weak rotation with this. There's the possibility for a tornado with that. We have seen a confirmed tornado with that. Let me do the shear swath here. And it's real noisy when you're near the radar site like that. But let me try this from Shreveport. No, that's not working. Yeah, it's kind of weird. That has an optimal range away from the radar, and you can see that it really did beef up here, but it was already kind of getting crazy. So yeah, we have a couple of confirmed tornadoes. I'm seeing someone's typing from DeRidder. I think that they had some damage there earlier from some straight line winds, it would appear. But that right there, that's moving toward Woodworth and eventually Alexandria, that is a pretty serious surge of wind right there. Let me go ahead. I see the wind already absolutely cranking out here right now. Gardner area, heavy wind and rain, but still have power. That's encouraging. I like to hear this kind of stuff. I mean, in Rapides right now, only 95 without power. That was as of 8:45, though, so that's a little old. And then 999 without power in Vernon. Man, that wind is kicking here now. So if we lose power, we'll just, the battery backup will catch us and we'll go right back to being live, so don't worry about that. But yes, we still have 2 tornado warnings in effect. These are both still listed as confirmed tornadoes. This one goes until 9:15. This one until, we have the confirmed until 9. Let me see. There's that other tornado warning in there, and I just didn't know if that one had a different expiration time, and I don't see it in here, so it doesn't matter. We're just going to say we're under a tornado warning, and we have a very clear signature on radar, still showing some strong winds moving into Rapides Parish. So let's see. That debris signature is pretty much right over Boyce right now. And we'll just go back and look at this as it came up through Hotwells. You can see that we've lost some of the definition to that, but if you're in Boyce, it is possible this is still on the ground, even though we're not seeing anything too impressive on the velocity. Where we are seeing something more impressive on that velocity data is down here where we're actually not seeing much. The tornado warning, northern tornado warning in Rapides will be expiring as the cell begins to move out of our area. So that's good. So that's a little vote of confidence for the one in Boyce. But right now, and I know everybody's asking questions about specific areas, we are concentrating on the most serious things right now, and we'll definitely be mentioning things down the line and everything. But for right now, we have a confirmed tornado. I can't tell you if this is going to be on the ground for 10 minutes or an hour or whatever, but it is going to go through these cycles, and we're seeing that right now as this storm may be trying to gust out, and hopefully that's a good sign. Hey, that's loud. And you can't turn it down. All right, I got you. I got you. That's another, they're going with confirmed on this one as well. So I'm going to get you guys the best and most pertinent information as quickly as I possibly can. Trust me on that. So tornado warning for Central Rapides Parish. This is the new warning until 9:30. This does include Alexandria. The tornado-producing storm was over Heinzton, moving northeast at 25. This is a radar-confirmed tornado. And it's going to be near Otis, Gardner, and Elmer around 9:05. Other locations include Calcasieu and Woodworth. So this storm could be doing some damage and knocking out power here pretty soon. Still not seeing any more warning up there for Boise. So good news there. That one has gone. But what we're seeing is a lot of times we'll see these supercells turn to the right. The way things are set up now, this thing's actually kind of bent to the left, and it's kind of rotating up toward the north a little bit more. So we are going to have to watch this here in Alexandria. Now, does that mean we are going to see a tornado? No, it doesn't. But we could see some strong straight line winds. In fact, what I'm going to do real quick here, we know there's a tornado warning. Let me make sure I don't see a new drop in that correlation coefficient, and I don't. So for a second here, we are going to go take a look at the camera. I'm just going to peek southwest. That's Leesville. Don't mind that. All right. And what I'm looking for here is power flashes. I mean, we're going to see lightning. But I'm just waiting to see if I see any sort of power flashes or anything as this thing surges into the area. Yeah, that another warning for Boise. Yeah, that is the warning. That would be the one that was just reissued that includes us here in Alexandria and points west and south. So let's go ahead. Not seeing anything there. Time to go back to radar. Oh, that was lightning. That wasn't a power flash. Once it gets closer, we'll most certainly be looking at that, because right now we're still on this storm where the worst of it is. We are, just measure it out here. From the center of Alexandria to that surge of wind, about 16 miles. And what we could get here is this part here wraps back into that. We could get another circulation to develop. These things cycle. They go through these cycles. And while it may look encouraging for a couple of frames, that thing could come right back. And I think we've seen at least 2 tornado warnings. Lots of power flashes in Elmer, I'll bet. Okay, let's see. Again, if you're ahead of this, this is basically showing me what the atmosphere is kind of giving us right now, what things are doing. So if say you're in Labousse, say you're out here in DeVille, you're in Ball even at this point, and you're in a mobile home, trailer, something like that, and you have the chance to get somewhere more substantial, please leave the mobile home. It's not safe. An F1, EF1 tornado, it's probably going to blow some shingles off of a house and cause some minor damage. It's going to roll a trailer. So that's why we have that problem with those. There are some absolutely lovely, luxurious, awesome trailers out there, but they're just not safe in a tornado. So if you have the means to get out and get somewhere, you want to get to a safe shelter. If not, you're getting in a bathtub. You're getting as low and as toward the center of that place as you possibly can, and putting as many walls between you and the outside as you can, because this storm has had a history of producing tornadoes, and it seems like we've had that one and then the one that came up here through Boise. So let's take a look at velocity. Still a real good surge on that. Moving toward Castor Plunge and Woodworth right now. This is going to continue to the northeast toward Alexandria. I'll put it in motion. And again, you can see down here toward Afman. Let's go back to this. That is when you have most likely a tornado. Look at how tight that circulation is. Right now, it has a totally different character to it. It's more of a straight line wind look for me. But there is still that circulation going on there, and it could spin up very quickly. So you need to be very careful with this. It's going to be crossing 165. It's going to be crossing 49. So don't travel if at all possible. I saw a comment there. So please just be careful. It's the only warning in the area right now, but it is a pretty nasty looking signature, and it just happens to be coming right here across the most populated area of the viewing area. So, yeah, I see people saying, come over here and all that. Again, you don't want to be, if you're, okay, let's say you're right now, I wouldn't even leave really if you're in Woodworth. You don't have, I mean, you may have 10 minutes or something, but if you're in Melder, Elmer, Otis, you don't want to leave right now. It's just, you're in this one now. But as you get up toward Alexandria, you probably have another half hour, maybe a little longer. Labousse, Colleen, Kingsville, Tioga, Ball, all those areas, you have time. You have time to get somewhere. And if it's an inconvenience, I get it. That's terrible. But it's better than the alternative of being in a shelter that's not going to protect you if this thing does decide to touch down again. Let's go ahead and take a look at the CC on this. See if we have anything we're seeing right now. And you can see we had this This is where it was on the ground earlier. Whoops. Okay, there we go. And not seeing that on the ground, not seeing a confirmed debris track right now. So some good news there. I think I actually do have the ability to see the swath on these. I wonder why it's not showing up. Okay, we're not going to even look at that then. All right, so this is what I'm sorry, that's a half hour ago. That looked confusing to me. Here's what we have on radar right now. We'll put it in motion, and there is your supercell thunderstorm that is right over Rapides Parish right now. This thing is going to continue on toward the northeast, impacting Alexandria, Pineville. Most of the area is going to see this. Woodworth also in this, Castor Plunge, Gardner, Alfalfa, Gardner, once again, you're in the warning here, though I think the worst of this one is south. Elmer, that's where the worst of this is right now. And if you're, let's say, Elmer toward Castor Plunge, let me pause this and we can, I think that's Twin Bridges right there. Yeah, Twin Bridges Road. If you're along Twin Bridges heading toward Alexandria from down around Elmer, anywhere along that trek is going to be nasty right now. And there are definitely going to be some strong winds out of this. I'm going to go back and take a look and see. Let's see. I'm just looking to see if I have any new stuff coming in. Multiple reports of trees down across Rapides Parish. Apologies. I need a drink of water every once in a while. Let me see on the damage thread if anyone's saying anything. I know it can get really confusing. I think I scrolled right past it. So still a tornado warning. That's until 9:30. Let me put this up while I'm looking for this. Just because I want to see if we have any sort of damage reports coming in yet. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing much. So I think we're going to see the damage reports come flowing in fairly quickly once they do. Again, they said, let's see. Yeah, it's still showing good rotation on radar. Trees down. Radar confirms it. Yeah. And Kristen, I see your text. Just let me know if you see any reports from anyone. If you see them in the comments or if you get a call from anyone that we know, anybody in the family or anything like that, please do let me know. You can walk on in, just tell me. But this is the only game in town now. These things, I said this earlier, the line was going to kind of break up and become more scattered, and it did. And unfortunately, that one scattered supercell has decided to produce multiple tornadoes, kind of split in two on us here with the one, that northern split, putting a tornado somewhere between Gardner and Hotwells, maybe even tracking up close to Boyce. And now we're watching this one near Castor Plunge along Twin Bridges from roughly Elmer up into Alexandria. That heavy rain is coming in here now. Lightning looks a little bit more tame, and that could be a sign that the updraft's weakening a little bit. That's what we're hoping for. Come on. But we really still, I think we're going to see a pretty big surge of power outages here pretty soon. So Woodworth, Castor Plunge area, Twin Bridges Road area, I'm thinking you're going to see some trees down. You're going to see some problems out of this. Vernon Parish actually seeing some power outage restored. Only 515 without power so far in Rapides. That's as of 9:05, so that's very recent. So that's an encouraging sign. Now, I know this was in a fairly unpopulated area. Of course, there are people out there, and every single one of you matters to me. And this storm is going to continue to move on toward the northeast, and I think we're going to see bigger power outages when we get into, obviously, the more populated areas. So we'll see how this all goes as it continues on toward the northeast. Right now, this storm continues moving about 30 miles an hour. It has slowed down a little bit, and from the traffic circle to kind of that surge of wind, 6 to 8 miles, and then this is where that area of rotation would be more like 10 miles, and that's where we could really, if we see this kind of dive in here, that green, and then that red spins around into that a little bit, that's when we're going to see the potential of another tornado to touch down. As of now, I don't think there is a tornado on the ground right now, but you're going to want to, again, take this very seriously because we have seen several tornadoes already touch down. That's your storm relative velocity. If you are riding along with the storm, what do we have? Well, if you were riding along with this storm, the wind surge coming out the front of it would be somewhere around 65, 70 miles per hour. Again, that's aloft, but it gives you an idea of that surge of wind that's going to be coming out of this. There is your supercell that is continuing on toward the northeast, toward Alexandria. That's it right there. One tornado warning remaining. Let me take a look, though, because it seems like things have really decided to misbehave here in the last half hour or so. No, it's all linear down that way. Checking my rain total real quick. All right, 0.78. Give me 1 second. I'm going to look outside. I just like to take a peek. All right, not seeing anything crazy, so that's good, but I can't see much as it is. So tornado warning continues. Raining pretty good. Castor Plunge, that area. Power back. Yeah, it looked like 300 or 400 people got power back in Leesville here in the last little bit. Hold on 1 second. Got to reply to this. Hold on. So there is the surge of wind, very evident here on the radar velocity data. That's the storm relative. Here's the base. You can see something's weird there. It's not as tight as what we were seeing earlier when we had a really, really small area of circulation. That area is now the worst of this storm is it's going to move right over between Woodworth and Alexandria. The worst of the rotation and that surge of wind, that is showing up more like, again, Woodworth to Alexandria. That's going to cross right over like Englewood Plantation, Latania, Alexandria, Pineville eventually. And we'll see how the character of this storm works as it continues on toward the northeast. Looking to see if we have any updates on damage or anything, because I have not seen anything yet. But again, multiple reports of trees down across Rapides Parish, so I'll just keep this like this, and we will continue to watch. Let me see if there's been an update on this tornado warning. This is for a confirmed tornado. Now, as of right now, I don't think we have a confirmed tornado. I don't see the debris, so that's good. 9:07, okay, at 9:06 p.m., a confirmed tornado was located over Elmer or near Heinzton, moving northeast at 35. This tornado will be near Gardner, possibly near Alexandria around now, but I think, again, I don't think there's a tornado right over Alexandria right now. 9:15 is AEX out at the airport. That's where this is going to be. Now, that's where the worst of this storm is going to be, I guess I should say. So velocity looks a little more encouraging there. There's still something going on for sure. On the reflectivity, on just the regular radar data, there's very heavy rain. At the very least, at the best case scenario here is you're going to have blinding rain and strong gusty winds out of this. It's going to knock out some power for some of you. I'm going to see if I have an update on that. I don't. So I thought I heard something. So yeah, right here, that's where this storm continues to track toward the northeast. We have some very heavy rain totals piling up. There is a flood warning in the eastern part, or in the western part of the tornado warning. But for right now, the main concern here is going to be that tornado warning. And you can see behind this, I mean, Leesville, it's pretty much stopped raining now. Natchitoches, rain's out of there. We're peeling off parishes and counties in Texas, parishes in Louisiana from the tornado watch. But the tornado watch continues for us, and the tornado warning continues for Central Rapides Parish right now. I'm taking a look. They're typing in the chat, and I'm hoping they're saying something encouraging. Unfortunately, I just still see this as a big wind surge coming toward Alexandria, and I see that this is probably going to create some issues here and cause some power outages. Let's go ahead and take a look at that camera again. We're just going to look southwest for a minute, and I'm going to have my other radar up here. Again, I like to look at multiple avenues on this stuff. Yeah, there is some big wind coming with this storm as it continues to kind of punch toward the northeast. That's lightning. That was not a power flash. I really need to focus on watching that. Let's see. Yes, thank you, Kristen. Okay, power out on Rock Hill Road in Bentley. I still see some cars out there traveling. That's not the best course of action. Lost power in Bentley. I'm just looking up there to make sure that storm didn't decide to do something different. No, I'm not seeing anything that would indicate that. But here comes the main show, though, for Woodworth, Alexandria, Twin Bridges Road, that area. That's where this thing's coming right now. And actually, what I'm going to do is turn this camera a little bit. I think that would be my best bet. It's always a little laggy, but get that thing to move a little bit, and hopefully, if something happens, we will see it. I like to keep those lights there just so I can see if the power gets knocked out or anything. And of course, if we lose power at the camera site, we're not going to be able to continue to show you that one. But what we are going to be able to do is keep broadcasting from here because we have that generator. Thank you, Ward Electric. You're awesome. And we'll be able to keep going with that. And there we go. We're getting a little motion on the camera now. I just wanted to tilt it a little bit more to the south. You know what? I'm going to do one more push on that, and then we'll come back to that in a minute. But let's look at radar. Usually we get a little update here. Yeah, that looks to me more like a straight line wind issue right now. Now, again, earlier we were 400 or 500 feet up in this thing. Now we're looking 1,200 feet up. So still a pretty respectable view into this storm. 1,200 feet up is not that bad, but you can see that rear inflow just boom, punching into that thing. 165, it's crossing there right now. We could see wind gusts in excess of 60, 70 miles per hour with this one. Hold on. And eventually down the line, this is going to continue on toward southeastern Grant, possibly southern LaSalle Parish. But for right now, this is the most imminent threat is right here across Rapides Parish. That's where this tornado warning is. Let me see. Man, it is bumping outside right now. I'm thinking we're going to lose power. We shall see. Okay, so let's go up. That was a flash. Okay, so yeah. Looking toward the southwest, actually my house is probably back in there somewhere. And you can hear the thunder rolling out there. Tornado warning continues until 9:30. We'll see if they're going to reissue that. But yes, this tornado warning goes until 9:30. I'm just looking at that once again. Yes, 9:30. Okay, so now they've taken away the confirmed tornado. Well, at least on this they have. This was as of 9:12. It says, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Elmer or 9 miles east of Heinston, moving northeast at 35. So that's at least we're looking for positive steps here, and that certainly is one. We'll look at the correlation coefficient. Not seeing anything on the ground right now, but I think we're about to really get some wind whipping out of this thing. You can see that right here, that little inflow right there, very evident. And there's your new tornado warning that is red, not purple. What does that mean? It means it's not confirmed anymore. So some very good news there. Still is the threat for tornadoes. And there's still, I can hear it outside. It's still absolutely rocking here. So yes, there's your update on that tornado warning until 9:30. That's for Rapides Parish. The inflow winds probably coming in strong from the south, right down there on 165. Probably down there just north, maybe Big Tex Trailers, that area. South end of Alexandria, where the speed limit goes from 65 down to 55 there. That is where this inflow is going to be coming in from the south, and then that big surge of gusty winds then comes around and hits you from the other side, moving out from the west. So still some rotation in there as well. That's why we still have a tornado warning in effect. Look at the base. Yep, that the worst of this should be approaching the southwest side of Alexandria right now, and I have the camera up here. Trust me, I'm taking a look at that, so I am missing some comments, of course. With that being said, so I'm just going to take a look at that though, because that way I can have these. I have my family's out there; they're checking out the comments and making sure there's nothing I absolutely need to know. But I'm just watching this camera, and I don't know if that was lightning or a power flash there. I think that was still lightning. I'm going to move this one more tick to the south. So yeah, that wind surge is now just now approaching us here. Nope, wrong one. All right, yeah. Okay, so tornado warning until 9:30. If you are just joining us, I think all of you guys have been here for a while. 3,500 live right now, and this tornado, this potential tornado, is moving into the southwest side of Alexandria now. That's where the tornado warning is. Now, I'm not seeing what I saw earlier. Let me look at this. Yeah, it's not showing anything there. The shear swath continues to kind of broaden out and weaken. It's not looking as bad. We don't have anything showing up on the debris tracker, so that's great news. We are still looking at some really strong gusty winds out of this, and that's going to continue right across Alexandria. You can see the greens coming in like that, and then the reds out here moving out, kind of surging out from that southern end of the storm. Let's see. All right, so tornado warning continues, and we are going to see here in a few minutes if they're going to extend this warning further. Confirmed hail by Cabrini Hospital. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, see, I'm down here in this area, so I'm kind of getting close to that inflow notch, actually. So we'll see if these Christmas lights can handle that. Looking at the power outages, too. Sometimes that's a great hint. It's only up to 582, so that's good news. That means we're probably not seeing crazy, significant, widespread wind damage. We still have about 2,100 out in Beauregard Parish, 700 in Vernon, and Sabine is about 1,200 without power. All right, let's go and take a look at the camera now, because we have those very heavy rains. I'm up to 1.08, and again, a new flood warning just issued. This includes a good chunk of Rapides Parish, Alexandria, Pineville, Ball, Tioga until 2 a.m. Of course, the tornado warning's our main thing right now that we're watching. But let's look at the camera real quick, see that lightning, see if we see any power flashes, because this is when we would be seeing it. Let's see. Which comment of hailing on a high point. Oh, really? Well, hailing on high point. Okay. I do apologize when that happens. It's super loud. Okay, I gotcha. All right, new tornado warning. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. I have not heard the hail hitting here yet. LaSalle Parish, you're next in line. I mean, it's going to be moving that way, but we have not seen that this thing, while it was confirmed earlier, it's not as tightly rotating now. Oh, there comes the wind. New tornado warning. This one is just an extension of this warning, so let's go ahead and take a look. Oh yeah, that wind is pumping now. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Alexandria, moving northeast at 45. This is radar indicated. This is not something that is confirmed. It is something that could quickly become confirmed, and you don't want to be the one to confirm it. Dangerous storm will be near Pineville, Colleen, Kingsville, Paradise, Tioga, Labousse, Alexandria, and Ball basically right now. Esler Regional Airport around 9:30, Holloway 9:35, DeVille at 9:40. So we're going to watch this and see what this storm decides to do, because as you can see, I mean, you know, maybe there's something going on down there, but this line is really kind of broken up in this one little midsection right here. That's the one that continues to create some major problems. So let me put this velocity up. Yeah, I just hit that wind surge right here at my house for sure. I can see the lights blowing in the breeze. Pretty excited we've kept power so far. And I'm going to put it in motion for you. And you can see how that just surges right out there. It is possible this is kind of gusting out and we're maybe hitting the end of the life cycle of this one. I don't want to be too hopeful for you because I don't want you to sit here and think, hey, it's over. Yeah, new warning for ball, hailing in Pineville. Let me know if you get hail and it's safe to do so. Just, and you can get a good idea of the size. Let me know. I'm not thinking the hail's going to be huge with this, but I would think we would see the potential of maybe some, maybe up to penny-sized hail, something like that. But this is the big blob mess that's rolling right overhead right now, and this is why we've seen multiple tornado warnings in the area. Velocity is showing encouraging signs. I'm not as freaked out as I was, though, again, still having the warning here. Just a second, okay. All right, so, yeah, that new tornado warning goes until 9:45. This storm continues to move on to the northeast. And, it's crazy with the chaos happening right now. Here in Alexandria, we're probably a half hour or so from not having to deal with this at all. This is going to move through. And of course, we still have our flood warnings in place. We've seen some really heavy rainfall rates. But as it stands right now, after this thing moves through, we're done. Unfortunately, we're only done until Saturday. So we're going to do this again. I don't think we're going to do exactly this again, but Saturday is at least shaping up to be somewhat of an interesting day when it comes to weather. There is that severe threat, but we'll get into that tomorrow. I'm not even posting about it tonight. We've had enough to deal with here. Tornado warning in Rapides was reissued. Looks like the cell may be trying to recycle on the northeast side. That's why they redid that warning. Let's see what they're talking about. Ooh, I hear that wind a-humming. All right, so there is your last half hour of the evolution of this storm. Let me look at a different radar here. We're going to go Lake Charles. Kind of noisy, kind of nothing. Still see that broad rotation aloft from the Shreveport radar. But this is going to be our best low-level source for information here. So I don't want it to get lost that there is a flood warning along with the tornado warning. So you don't want to get caught in the floodwaters in the tornado warning. It's a double-barreled thing. You don't like that. But the tornado warning does continue here for the next 19 minutes or so. And that's going to be for northeastern Rapides Parish, most all of northeastern Rapides Parish. And then with the trend that I'm seeing right now, the hope is that this is going to eventually weaken out. We don't have to deal with this for southern LaSalle. But if we were to extrapolate this further out, southern LaSalle into southern Catahoula, that's where it possibly could get warned again. And the problem is, as you get further away from this radar, you're getting out here, well, you're 5,000 feet up. And then you've got Jackson up here, you've got Shreveport. So you're 6,000 feet aloft here, and it's really hard to see the lower levels of the storm. So sometimes you're going to get a few more tornado warnings in that because we can't really diagnose exactly what's going on in that storm. I'm going to look at the rainfall totals real quick. Since we don't have a tornado on the ground for sure, let's look at the last hour. Yeah, solid 2+ inch rainfall rates that are accumulating. And over the last 12 hours, giving us kind of the storm total. Once again, we get that heavy pipe of rain right over Alexandria and right down through Vernon Parish into northwestern Beauregard. This has been really just a hotbed for some crazy rain totals recently. And of course, now we have the severe weather to talk about as well. But heavy rain is also part of the story. I can hear it out there right now for sure. 2.5, 2.6, 2.7. I think this is maybe running a little hot. Yeah, I'm at 1.34, so if I zoom way in here, I'm more like right about here, so 2.1. Yeah, it's running a little hot, so it's possible. It's also possible that this is pretty windblown, and I'm not catching it all in the gauge. So, but you can see a clear stretch of heavy rain there from Beauregard and Vernon right through Rapides. Storm totals getting up there with some areas possibly seeing well over 3 or 4 inches up there in Sabine and down into Beauregard and Vernon Parish. Let's go back over to the wind velocities as we have tornado warnings. I'm ready to get this purple thing out of here. I'm tired of it flashing because I don't think it's confirmed anymore, so I'm ready to just remove that. Unfortunately, I don't have the authority. But heavy rain all over the metro area, Alexandria, Pineville, Ball, Tioga, Castor Plunge down toward the north side of Woodworth. I'm still watching down that way. I'm just keeping an eye on all these kind of areas along that front edge and just making sure nothing decides to do something a little crazy here. We certainly have a lot going on here. Let's see. Tornado and Otis touchdown. That had to be earlier, I would think. Yeah, that would be earlier. But that makes sense. I'm just taking I'm kind of going through now that things have sort of kind of calmed down. I'm looking at different areas on this line just to make sure we're not missing anything. All right, so yes, there's your inflow coming into the storm. Still some solid rotation with this thing, but it's not nearly what it was earlier. I saw the comment, why can't we have snow? Why can't we have snow? Yeah, in December, we deserve it. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. All right, y'all just be safe and get as many walls between you and the outside as you can. I would say again, my level of concern is lower than it was 15, 20 minutes ago, a half hour ago, whenever I started doing this broadcast here. And here in Alexandria, we're not seeing any sort of debris being lofted by this. And earlier, you know, when I talk about that, let me just take you back a little ways here, and I'll show you what it looks like when we actually do have that. And you can see there's this is when this is a while back with this, and this is what we're looking for on Debris Tracker when we're trying to diagnose something. See southwest of Afman, that blue area, that thing moving right there, that is a confirmed tornado that probably moved close to Heinston, Otis, that area, and now has since dissipated, it appears. So some great news on that, but we still have the tornado warnings. There we go. The purple's gone. We just have the one tornado warning in place until 9:45, and I'm just waiting to see if they reissue any sort of text on that or anything. Not seeing anything there right now. And looking at the velocity data things, again, it looks like there's a surge of wind that's pushing out that southeast flank of the storm, but I'm not seeing a real solid rotation with this. Not seeing anything in the low levels. Mid-levels, there's still a mesocyclone, so it's still a supercell thunderstorm, but I'm not seeing what I would say is an imminent threat for a tornado. Beach ball hail in Tioga. I'm thinking that's not a legitimate report. Sheets and sheets of rain. Yeah, this thing is absolutely just pummeling us with rainfall. And that's why we have the flood warnings. But only 647 without power. I say only. I know that's, if it's you're like, only? Well, yeah, that's better than what I thought was going to possibly happen as this thing was approaching. But there is your surge of wind that's going out from this thing. You can see it very clearly here, and we can watch the last, actually, I don't want to watch 2 hours of it. It's too much. We'll go 45 minutes. And you can see that punch of wind that has come in from west central Rapides Parish. It's really kind of accelerating onto the east-northeast now, and this is moving quickly toward DeVille and Labousse, down Highway 28 toward those areas. So if you are along 28, let's see, if you're along 28 in Labousse, Holloway, Shady Oaks, Colleen. Of course, you're not on 28 down there. I know that. But you have that wind that's going to be pushing toward the east, and it's really going to be causing some problems there. Some gusts over 60 miles an hour possible, so limbs down, possibly some power outages, and obviously some blinding rain as well. And you can see that here on the reflectivity. You can see how this storm's just kind of cycled. And again, we're getting that solid push of wind coming out right here. Still kind of have that comma head of the supercell up here, so maybe some small hail up around Labousse. Along 28 there, that's where your best chance for that is going to be, and you could see some hail still falling, small hail around Castor Plunge. I do not think this is going to be the kind that's going to damage roofs or anything like that, but it is possible that you're going to see some hail, and I'm seeing if they expanded that tornado watch at all. They haven't done that yet. And they might not, because I think the threat's going to be so brief that they probably won't expand it. I guess that's their thought process. So yeah, I'm just watching a little bit of everything right now. Back to the comments now. Yeah, I'm thinking there's probably hail that's like peas at best, maybe a little bit bigger. So some small hail, some heavy rain, lots of wind. Some crazy tornadic activity, it seems like, here in the last hour, especially between Boyce and Hotwells down toward Coteal Lake, and then that cell that passed near Afman and Otis that probably did, and definitely, I mean, looking at radar, produced a tornado. So these storms continued to march on toward the east-northeast fairly quickly now. So again, I had been saying I think this is going to exit our area by about midnight, and once this storm, if this storm had calmed down and not done what it's doing, I mean, look up here, no warnings, nothing really going on apart from this storm that's leaving flood warnings in its wake and putting down tornado warning after tornado warning. Yeah, I would say, Otis, you're safe now. I think once this clears your area, Boyce, you're looking good. Simpson, I know Natchitoches, you're still in a tornado watch, but they kind of cut those parishes off a little bit later. You know, it's going to be a little bit like it might be a half hour, 45 minutes after things end, but then you get that tornado watch to go away. So Wynn Parish, Natchitoches Parish, Vernon, most of Beauregard looking pretty good. And then this supercell continuing to move into northeastern Rapides Parish, continuing with that tornado warning for now. And we'll see once this crosses over into the Jackson County Parish warning area, what they decide to do. Is Gina going to slip through a break in the line? You know what? I kind of think you are. I think it's looking good. I think it's looking pretty good for Gina. Southern LaSalle Parish, again, out toward Texaco Town, that area. You could see the pretty rough stuff there. Archie, Walters, that area. Jonesville, and then down toward New Era, Larto. Those kind of places, Acme, Deer Park, you could see some heavy rain and thunder from this later on. Bob community, you're getting it right now. That tornado warning goes for another 11 minutes, and they're not talking about it in here. So I'm going to actually go look and see what Jackson is saying, the National Weather Service there, see if they plan on going with a tornado warning. Let's see if they're saying anything. They aren't saying much at all, so I don't think they're going to be talking. Shreveport area, I'm going to quote them. They said everything, they're talking about the storms, and they're saying, yeah, everything else is looking pretty mushy right now. So that's good. I like that. Yeah, they're watching the Rapides Parish storm. So that's been the storm right there. 1.68 inches of rain as that heavy rain continues. The tornado warning still continues for northeastern Rapides Parish as this storm continues to move fairly quickly onto the northeast, and you can see that big surge of wind that's now past Alexandria. We could still see some gusty wind out of this, but I think the worst is past now for Alexandria, though it's going to rain very hard for the next 20-30 minutes. When is the rain going to stop? Depends on where you're at. If you're in Boyce, it's going to stop soon. If you're in Alexandria, we're probably looking at another 20-25 minutes of very heavy rain. So we could end up with 2.5 inches out of this one. And then if you're down around Oakdale, you've missed the worst of this. You really haven't seen any crazy, crazy storms. It just shows you how wild and crazy weather can be and how the shifts can over a 10-mile stretch. You can see it go from big supercell producing tornadoes to just some scattered rain. So thanks, East Texas. We appreciate the prayers. We were giving them to you all earlier as you were enduring all this stuff too. So the camera's on. Let me go ahead and take a look. If you want a camera, I'm always going to give you a camera here, especially if I'm not having to really dig into what's going on radar. Oh yeah, power's out there. It looks like all over MacArthur. All those businesses right there, things have gone dark. Looking toward the southwest, though, left of the water tower, it looks like things are okay. Remember, the water tower has all the Christmas lights and stuff on it right now, so not seeing that. Seeing tons of lightning and blinding rain out there, and a bunch of people on the road at 9:37 on, like, December 26th. What is it, a Thursday? I don't know what you guys are still doing out there. This weather's too crazy for that. But yes, so power outages for sure in Alexandria. I can confirm that just by looking at this. And if you saw earlier, it was light out there. And yeah, I mean, just look at the lightning. Just not continuous, but it's close. Can you get out of the bathtub, Frankie? Where are you? I got to know that, and then I can tell you. But, yeah, it looks kind of spooky out there. But lots of lightning. We're definitely not going to see anything there. But yeah, these... and if you want to watch these ever, I mean, this is why I did this. They're live streaming 24 hours a day on the website, on the app, and you can go check them out right there. Let's see. Your lights are out, April? Hope Mackenzie's okay. I know she doesn't like the crazy stuff, even though she wants to go storm chasing. Ooh. You hear that? That wind is picking up now, coming on the backside of this. Alexandria, okay, then I would say if you're in Alexandria, I think the worst of this is passing, but I would say just give it a little bit more. I mean, let me look at something real quick. Yeah, I think we're mainly just into the heavy rain at this point. So the tornado warning, yeah, it just got trimmed off. So if you're in Alexandria, go ahead and get out of the bathtub. And if you're in northeastern Rapides Parish, that's where that tornado warning continues. So tornado warning continues. It trimmed Alexandria out of the warning, and that should take away our worst threat for the night. But we are going to continue on this broadcast until there are no tornado warnings, and then I'll be ready to jump on live if any of our eastern parishes get in on this. But the good news parishes win most, I'd say Grant, Natchitoches, Sabine, Vernon, Beauregard, extreme western, the western half of Rapides. We'll go that far. The threat is really dropping or completely gone in those areas. Now, looking downstream here, I think southern LaSalle, Catahoula, and the southern half of Concordia Parish, that's where the worst of this is going to continue. We could see some more severe weather out of this cell right here. Other than that, I'm not seeing much of a threat anywhere. But we do still continue to see that surge of wind coming out of this thing. And there could be a little bit of a rear inflow jet kick into this thing. And maybe that's what I'm seeing right now, because I'm seeing those lights are going to be just a tangled mess, Kristen. You're going to have a blast fixing that. That was her baby, not mine. So let me take a look at the camera one more time. I'm not leaving yet, trust me. As long as there's a tornado warning, we're here. But that is a large area without power. And what that means is stoplights are going to be out. Treat it as a four-way stop. It's night. It's raining. There's like a 90% chance the other person's not going to treat it that way. So be very careful. Be safe if you have to be out there right now. I'm going to look at those power outage numbers because they had to jump up, didn't they? Last update, 925. Maybe we'll get another one here, 934. Only 707. So at least per this thing that I'm looking at, that's what we're looking like. I think we're seeing several of those power outages right there. Still lots of lightning going as well. But there is your tornado warning for Northeast Rapides Parish. The worst of this now moving right down 28. Labousse toward Holloway, Buckeye Elementary, Buckeye High, DeVille, that area. It looks like this is where the strongest winds are going to be pushing. I'll have to check on Tom Convica, see how he's doing. I know that's going to be close to his house too. Let me see if he's said anything. Let's see. And God love y'all that are texting me right now. I can't get to them. I can't do it. I got to mass communicate. All right. So ask me in the comments. That's the better way to do it. Why am I in the show now? All right. I'm losing it. Okay. Analysis. Back to the radar. Yeah, I didn't want to show that again. So surge of winds continues to push out 28 east. This is going to be moving through Labousse. It is right now toward Buckeye and then up toward Texaco Town, Archie, Walters, that area. You're going to see this, and you're going to see some strong winds, possibly some power outages, as we have been seeing around here. Hey, when can I take the ratchet straps off my roof? I think you can do that. Yeah, I think that's good. No, Leesville, no more. You're good. Lake Charles, let's see, Baton Rouge, you could see some storms later on this evening, but you know, Lake Charles, you're in the stormy stuff now. But this storm right here is the one that remains severe. This is like the only game in town, and I would love nothing more than to see this thing dissipate, because I'm hitting that point where I'm like, all right, let's prep for Saturday. Let's go ahead and put this one to bed. But we will stick with it until we are out of tornado warnings, and even beyond that, I'm going to be watching this stuff until it clears the area completely. That means you, St. Landry Parish, and you, Evangeline, that hasn't seen much yet. I haven't seen much yet. So tornado warning continues for a few more minutes. Let's see. It's like I watch the comments and I see y'all getting as crazy as me, so that's cool. Let me see. Hey, we just hit 69,000 followers on Facebook, so that's one of the side benefits to this, I guess. Hoping that any sort of damage was limited to trees and all that. I'm telling you, I don't like the looks of this thing the way it was looking on radar. Let me look and see what they're doing with this tornado warning. The tornado warning will be allowed to expire at 9:45. So that's great news. I'm just not even going to look at the comments right now. Y'all getting wild. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, there's your broad rotation aloft. We're now a couple thousand feet up on this thing, 2,300 feet up. I'm not seeing anything else that looks dangerous out there. I'm going to stay here until that red box is gone, that's for sure. Things are quieting down. Well, that actually, as I said that, it just started pouring again here at my house. Let me see if I'm at 2 inches yet. Hey, 2.04 inches of rain, another overachiever. They're issuing a special weather statement. Strong thunderstorm for Northeast Rapides Parish. So that's gonna replace the tornado warning. That's a great downgrade for us right there. It's for wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. This storm is near Laboose and Pineville, moving northeast at 45, and most importantly, not a tornado warning that's going to be reissued. Did a tornado touch? I'm going to be watching for information on this. I am not going to go out and try to look for it right now because I have to stay back here in case there are other warnings. I'm going to probably go out tomorrow and look at things, but I do not know exactly what has happened with that and if this was confirmed. So tornado watch now includes Avoyles. They've put you in it, but it's going to be a brief window here, maybe an hour or so where you have that threat. Avoyles was the only one added. Beauregard, Vernon, and then some Texas counties. You have been removed from the tornado watch. So there you go. I can't believe Natchitoches wasn't removed, but Vernon and Beauregard, you're out. I think Natchitoches, Wynn, and Grant, you're soon to follow. They're going to keep it going here in Rapides for a little bit until this threat clears, but it is in the process of doing that. So there's your storm relative velocity, still showing some rotation up here in northeastern Rapides Parish. That's where our tornado warning continues. I think this is, unless we see something really drastic, yeah, okay, it is gone. So they canceled that. That's great news. I'm going to be watching things closely. Gotta rest the voice for a little bit. And if I see anything, again, we didn't have a warning when I came on live with this. It looked suspect, so that's why I came on live. And that's why I love having the ability to do this stuff from home, and I can jump on whenever I feel like it. It doesn't matter. There are no rules. We're going to be here, and we're going to be talking about that stuff as soon as it's happening, if at all possible. If I see something that I think warrants me talking to you about it, I'll jump on, and you can make the decision whether you want to come and say hi or not, or stop by and hang out. So thank you all for tuning in. I hate leaving 2,600 of you here, but with no warnings in effect now, I am temporarily signing off. Hopefully for the night. I would love nothing more than to see no more warnings. If nothing else, I'll see you in the morning, and we'll talk about the threat for more severe weather on Saturday. I'll see you later.